The gospel can be found on page 1194 in the Bible. The gospel is from Mark chapter 12, beginning with verse 38, page 1194. The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Mark. As Jesus taught, he said, "Beware of the scribes who like to walk around in long robes and to be greeted with respect in the marketplaces and to have the best seats in the synagogues and places of honor at banquets. They devour widows' houses, and for the sake of appearance they say long prayers. They will receive the greater condemnation." He sat down opposite the treasury and watched the crowd putting money into the treasury. Many rich people put in large sums. A poor widow came and put in 2 small copper coins, which were worth a penny. Then he called his disciples and said to them, "Truly I tell you, the poor widow has put in more than all those who contributed to the treasury. For all of them have contributed out of their abundance, but she, out of her poverty, has put in everything she had, all she had to live on." The Gospel of the Lord. Jesus Christ. I'm not sure how many of you have looked online and for the Parish website and saw the homilies for the Masses on Sunday for the last month or so. How many of you have done that? Don't raise your hand. Okay, good. Anyway, I did. And it's interesting. I like to watch it to see how I'm doing and how I can improve and stuff. And how can you improve perfection? But anyway, it's kind of sobering, though, to look at that. The first Sunday of October was when Father Kenny Herr was here. And he preached about something which I think was very much as a part of his life as a priest, marrying people, and of course, dealing with people through marriage struggles and so forth. He was one of the most marrying priests in the diocese. I know, at least when I was a younger priest in high school teaching. But anyway, and then I saw last Sunday, and I'm going, oh my gosh, I hope I don't have to preach with the sadness of Father Hurd passing away. He's close. But anyway, Father Steve Lensnick told you about his classmate, Father Phil Crowline, and the beautiful story about how people took care of him the last couple of months of his life. This is the time of the year when we celebrate the Feast of All Souls. We celebrate people in our lives that are so important, who are significant. We remember them in a special way. And you notice the tombstone rubbings. Isn't that what they are? Yes, okay. At least one of them was. But anyway, we focus on, shall I say, death and dying. And that's not a bad thing. It seems, though, that for many of us, at least when we're younger, we don't want to focus on death and dying. And yet the reality is, in our day, especially with the way in which we have terrorism and tragedies happening, shootings throughout the country, we have, it's not just the old who are dying. And so we all have to focus on the loss of our life, the loss of people around us. That's part of the journey of life, is to let go. We let go of people who are so significant in our lives. We empty ourselves of almost everything. And along the journey, we're asked to do that in many different ways. We're asked to give of ourselves, to empty ourselves. That's the Christian motif. That's what Jesus Christ did. He emptied himself totally to bring healing, salvation for us, his people. We are called to do that in our own way, the poorest to the richest, the poor widow, giving her all, everything. She will, after this, she and her child would die. But we know we're people who believe in the Paschal mystery, and we know there's something more to it. The story of life and death, and then life after death. We are people of faith, and to our very dying moment, we use our faith to make sense of our life and to believe that God is taking care of us all along the way. Today, I've been asked to keep my homily short by the pastor. So at this point, I will stop and, again, carry with you that sense of letting go of everything in order to realize that everything is God's and we use it to help build up the kingdom. Part of that struggle is to make sense of things in our journey. And today we have a special guest to give a few words on the surveys that you had recently. And his name, I think, is Mr. Goldfinger. No, it's Fred Gettelfinger. Anyway, keep trying. Fred, if you could come up and help me, please.
I wish I could say I haven't heard that before. Good morning. As Father said, my name is Fred Molfinger, and I was part of the committee who was charged with taking a look at the results of the CARA survey that we took some while ago. The committee was commissioned by the council. The council actually did a lot of work on it already, but they realized that there was so much information in there that we really needed to distill it down and look at some of the key and most important ingredients and the most important results. So we've put a little presentation together to give you the top view of what we look like as a parish, and let's get started. What does our family look like? Most of this information is bounced up against national numbers, so we have a comparison of what we look like as a parish compared to nationally. And it should be no surprise to any of us that as a parish, we're a good bit older than the average. The average for folks over 55 nationally is 35%. We are at 67%. And we don't have a lot of young people either. 19% of us are under 45. Nationally, that number for Catholics nationally is 46%. When we ask the question, is this your parish home? Are you registered here at All Saints? Almost 2/3 of the respondents said yes, we are registered here at All Saints. But the most interesting facts come out of that question is that nearly 25%, almost a quarter of the respondents said they were visitors here. Nationally, that number is closer to 7%. We're more than 3 times the national number for visitors. And I don't know about you, but what that says to me is that the word is out about All Saints. People are coming to find out what is here that is so special. Another interesting part of the answer is that 11% of folks said they're not registered here as a parishioner, but they come here regularly. So we want to pose the question to you, if that's you and you're coming regularly, why not pick up one of those cards in the pew and make it official? Become a part of this family. Two-thirds of us, 68%, participate in at least one ministry at this parish. That is something to be really proud of. We are an engaged people. We are active, and that's something to be terrifically proud of. So that's kind of who we are. Now the question comes up, why are you coming here? Why are you coming to this place? There are a lot of reasons, and some of the most important, some of the most significant reasons are on the screen for you there. But take a look at all those numbers and how they are different from national numbers. Our open, welcoming spirit, we're almost 50% greater in our response than nationally. But look again at our commitment to social justice, 113% greater than the national number is why people are coming here. As I said, our open, welcoming spirit brings 83% of us here. 80% said it's the sense of belonging that you feel here. And I have to say, that's why we're here. I'll say that to anyone, I have said that to anybody that asks me why I'm here. You feel, as you walk in those doors, you feel like you belong here. This is a family. Another 82% said that the quality of the preaching, and 77% said it's the quality of the liturgy. And we can thank our priests and our visiting priests for that. And I don't know about you, but almost every Sunday, I should say every Sunday, I go home and think about what I've heard here. And again, our commitment to social justice is something that is unparalleled at this parish. Another point is our spiritual growth opportunities. We have terrific opportunities and a lot of opportunities to grow spiritually here at All Saints. So in summary, it's our welcoming spirit, the sense of belonging that you feel here, the quality of our liturgy and preaching, and our work for social justice that are the top reasons why we're here. So this is only the first half of the Cara presentation. Next week, we will talk about what we're good at, what we say we do very well, and where should we focus in the future? What things do we need to put our efforts into? So, and I do want to let you know that the entire complete survey is available on the website, all 83 pages of it. So if you couldn't read some of these screens or had a little trouble reading them, we do have these printed off, and they're in the back if you want to, and I think some up here too, Tom, right? Yeah, there are printouts of this presentation if you want to take them home and think about them or look at them a little further. So thanks for your attention. Come back next week to find out some more information.